Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Mandy's Not So Small Talk. I'm your host, Mandy. So today we're diving into a topic that's not only essential for your emotional well-being, but can transform your relationships and how you handle life's challenges. We're talking about healthy detachment, emotional awareness, and how to regulate your nervous system so that you can find balance amidst all the chaos. So we'll explore how unhealthy detachment can actually harm your relationships and your sense of self, and how healthy detachment can help you engage with life without becoming overwhelmed. I'll also share some insights from Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now and the groundbreaking work of Peter Levine on the somatic experiencing. We'll even get into some practical exercises that can help you become more somatically aware of your emotions and guide you through healthier ways to process them. So let's dive in, shall we? First, let's talk about unhealthy detachment. So a lot of people think that detachment means emotionally shutting down, ignoring difficult feelings, or pretending that things just don't affect them. But this type of detachment is actually emotional avoidance. It doesn't heal anything. It just buries the emotion until eventually bubbles back up, often in more destructive ways, okay? So let me give you an example. There's a story of a man named John, okay, who had a tough childhood where emotions were seen as a sign of weakness. Because of this, John learned to detach emotionally in relationships. When his partner, Sarah, expressed feelings of frustration or sadness, John would respond by shutting down and saying things like, "You're making too big a deal out of this," or "Why can't you just get over it?" So now that what John was doing, it might seem like detachment, but in reality, it's emotional suppression. By invalidating Sarah's feelings and avoiding his own discomfort, he was actually distancing himself from any emotional connection. This kind of unhealthy detachment left Sarah feeling unheard, unseen, and emotionally abandoned, which eventually led to resentment and further conflict. Unhealthy detachment, it isn't strength. It's a defense mechanism. All right, so what does healthy detachment look like? So unlike the emotional avoidance John was practicing, healthy detachment involves recognizing and observing your emotions without being overwhelmed by them. It's the ability to create enough space around your feelings so that you can actually respond rather than react. So let's look at Sarah again, okay? But this time, let's look from her perspective. So after one particularly heated argument, she decided to try something different. Instead of shutting down like John, she took a moment to tune into her body. She realized that she was clenching her fists and her chest felt tight. So she paused. She took a deep breath and said, "I feel really hurt and upset right now. I need a moment to process these feelings so I don't say something that I'll regret." So by practicing healthy detachment, Sarah was able to acknowledge her emotions without letting them control her. She didn't push them down. She didn't let them spill out in a way that would cause more damage. She gave herself and John space to process. And then later they were able to have a more productive conversation. Okay. But it's very important that if you say that you need to take a moment to process what you're going through, it's very important that you actually return to the issue. And perhaps you may need to give a timeline of that returning. Because if you just say, let's put a pin in it, and then you never actually go back and resolve it, again, you're just repressing the issue. So this is the essence of healthy detachment. It's not about avoiding feelings or disconnecting from others. It's about being aware of your emotions, accepting them, and creating enough space to respond with clarity. Now, Eckhart Tolle's teachings in The Power of Now align beautifully with the concept of healthy detachment. Tolle emphasizes the importance of being present with your emotions. He teaches that most of our suffering comes from our identification with the emotions and the thoughts. And when we let them actually define us, or when we let them take control. Tolle says that you are not your thoughts or your emotions or the things happening to you. You are the awareness behind them. So when we practice healthy detachment, we're stepping into that space of awareness. We're observing our emotions without becoming them. This is where true power lies, okay? Because in that moment, we can choose to respond rather than react impulsively. So let me ask you, have you ever been in a situation where you reacted from a place of pure emotion? Anger, fear, sadness, and then regretted it later? That's the difference between reacting unconsciously and responding from a place of mindful awareness. Feel free to share your stories in the comments. I'd love to hear how you handled it and what you learned from those moments. Now, I want to talk about Peter Levine and his work on somatic experiencing. Levine's approach to emotional healing is based on the understanding that the body stores emotional experiences. He believes that when we don't fully process our emotions, they actually get trapped in our bodies, creating tension, anxiety, and even trauma. So in his research, Levine observed how animals in the wild instinctively shake off the energy of a traumatic event. So they don't hold on to the tension, they release it through physical movement. But as humans, we often suppress that natural response, either because we feel we need to stay in control or because we fear the intensity of the emotion. Levine developed somatic experiencing as a way to help people release the stored emotional energy by becoming aware of where the emotions are felt in the body. So this can be a tightness of our chest, a lump in your throat, or a knot in your stomach. Once you recognize where the emotion lives physically, you can begin to release it. Okay, take for example, someone will call Emily. Okay, Emily was a successful professional who constantly felt stressed, overwhelmed. When her boss criticized her, she'd feel an immediate knot in her stomach, but she'd brush it off, telling herself it wasn't a big deal. However, this pattern of pushing down her emotions left her with chronic tension and anxiety. So one day, Emily decided to try somatic experiencing. She started by tuning into her body when she felt stress, paying attention to the tightness in her chest, and in the pit of her stomach. And instead of actually just brushing it off, she paused and she breathed deeply and let herself actually feel those sensations. She didn't try to fix, she didn't try to judge, she just let them be. So gradually, as she gave her body permission to feel into the emotion, she noticed that the tension started to release. Through somatic awareness, Emily learned that processing her emotions wasn't something to actually be afraid of. It was actually the key to freedom. Okay. So by incorporating this practice, Emily was able to detach from the story her mind was telling her about the criticism and simply just observe her body's reaction. She could then address the situation with a calm mind instead of reacting from a place of emotional tension. Okay, so how can you start practicing somatic awareness and healthy detachment in your own life? Here are a few practical tips to get you started. One, you can do a body scan exercise. So what you would do is just close your eyes and then you'd mentally just scan your body from head to toe. Just notice any areas of tension, discomfort, tightness. Once you identify these areas, just breathe deeply into them, acknowledging the sensation without judgment. This simple practice can help you release stored emotional tension. All right, so number 2 is you can do the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Okay, so this is a powerful way to calm your nervous system, especially in the moment of actual overwhelm. Once you notice that you're like, you're being flooded with emotion, you're being triggered, you're feeling overwhelmed, just when you have yourself that awareness, you could just like step away from whatever it is, the environment. Maybe you could go to the bathroom or something, and just then start utilizing this breathing technique because you have your breath with you wherever you go. So what you would do is you inhale for 4 seconds, inhale and hold 4 seconds, and then you hold the breath for 7 seconds, and then you exhale slowly for 8 seconds. And then you repeat this a few times whenever you actually feel overwhelmed, and then you'll then start to feel that your body will relax. So when you first start this, you'll notice that you're breathing up here. Your breathing is short. It's quick. It may take a moment to be able to even breathe in deep enough to hold it for 4 seconds. When you're not able to even hold it for 4 seconds, just keep going because then you're especially in uh, nervous system dysregulation. So keep going, cycle through this until you actually feel your body calm down, and you will know it. You will feel it. Because what happens is you're in a different part of your brain when you get in fight or flight. Okay. So you're in um, the first part of the brain that was ever developed, the animalistic part. And there's no reasoning there. It's just, I need survival, right? So it's like, what am I going to do? I either can fight, I can uh, fight, run, or freeze. Basically, all it can know is what it needs to do to stay alive. And when we're in an argument now, like in nowadays, an argument can feel like the same kind of danger to our nervous systems because our nervous system doesn't know any different than, being, you know, trapped in the forest with an animal that's about to eat us. Like it's crazy, but yeah, the nervous system is just reacting similar to that. So what we need to do is be able to tell our nervous system it's safe, you can calm down, to take it from this front, like, that part of the brain, and bring it to the evolved part of the brain that has reasoning. Okay, so we're taking it out of the sympathetic nervous system and putting it into the, am I saying it right? Parasympathetic. I hope I didn't reverse that. So breathing is going to be able to help you get from that one part of the brain into the other part of the brain. So you breathe in for 4 seconds through your nose. Hold for 7 seconds. Hold it, and then release, because you need a longer exhale than inhale. Or release slowly for 8 seconds. Make sure that you get all the air out and feel it. Cycling through your body. Move the air, move the energy. And then you will realize that your body will be like, oh, okay, it's safe. And then you'll be able to reason. So the third one is a somatic release. So sometimes emotions, they get trapped in the body and they need to be physically released. So you can try shaking your arms. You can do stomping your feet, or you can even doing like a few moments of like free movement, dance, or free, or just just somatically move the energy, move your body, let it out. You could bioenergetics with anger. If it's anger, maybe you need to kick a pillow, punch a pillow, bite a pillow. You need to somatically or bioenergetically move that energy and have a energetic release. So the other one, number 4, is journaling. So writing can be a powerful tool for emotional release. Take some time, write down what you're feeling without censoring yourself, okay? Pay attention to any physical sensations that arise as you write. And this can help gain clarity and process the emotions that are actually stuck in your body. And don't worry, you can rip it up after, and don't think, just free flow, let it out. All right, so finally, let's touch on validation in relationships, okay? Sometimes we mistake detachment for avoiding other people's emotions altogether, but that can be incredibly invalidating, okay? So if your partner is upset, healthy detachment doesn't mean telling them to just get over it or dismissing their feelings. Instead, healthy detachment means being present with their emotions without absorbing them as your own. So you might say, I see that you're upset and I'm here to listen. This validates their experience while also keeping a healthy emotional boundary for yourself. By practicing somatic awareness and regulating your own nervous system, you can show up for your partner in a way that it's both empathetic and grounded. So you're not absorbing their stress or their emotions, but you're also not pushing them away. You're present, you're available, and you're validating their experience, allowing them to go through their somatic process, their release, right? So that they can release whatever it is that they're going through and have healing. So you are creating a safe space for them, being there, validating their experience, which is the key to healthy emotional dynamics in any relationship. So remember, a healthy detachment doesn't mean emotional coldness or indifference. It's about creating space within yourself to respond to others with empathy while staying centered in your own emotional state. This balance, it's crucial in fostering healthier, more connected relationships. So To recap, unhealthy detachment can look like shutting down, avoiding emotions, invalidating the feelings of those around you, maybe even numbing with many types of devices, you know, substances or video games or social media or like work, or, you're numbing, you're distracting yourself. That is also um, unhealthy detachment. Healthy detachment, on the other hand, is about it's being aware of your emotions and the emotions of others while giving both yourself and them space to process. Eckhart Tolle reminds us that we are not our emotions or our thoughts, but the awareness behind them. And Peter Levine's work on somatic experiences teach us how important it is to recognize where emotions live inside of our bodies and to allow them to be felt so that we can release them. I hope these insights help you as much as they've helped me and continue to help me. I'm a work in progress, and I am just so happy that I've stumbled upon these beautiful works that I can integrate and engage with. So if you're working through difficult emotions or trying to develop healthier detachment in your relationships, try some of the exercises we talked about today. Body scans, deep breathing, somatic release, and journaling. And you know what? I'd love to hear your stories. Have you ever experienced unhealthy detachment in your life? Or maybe you've practiced healthy detachment in a tough situation? Drop me a comment below and share your experiences. We're all here learning and healing together. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and share and subscribe for more content like this on emotional healing, mindfulness, personal growth, um, things to do with the body. I appreciate you for being here. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Remember, healing is a journey, not a destination. Click the bell icon, subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next video. Toodles!